Hello, my name is Kurt Brown, also known as Saint Rambo, and I was witness to bombs going off in 1999 in October. I was at La Quinta Resort at a federal conference. Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation and the Secret Service was there, most likely, and bombs went off in October 1999, Hector Mine Earthquake Day. We were at La Quinta, California, which is right near the Salton Sea. The Salton Sea aquifer was shattered for it's 18 miles by 20 miles, and it was shattered, and now we are suffering the results of it. As you can see here, right here is Salton Sea. La Quinta Resort is somewhere over in this area here. Well, right around in there. And the bomb probably went off over in here somewhere, and it has cracked the aquifer going all the way up to Bakersfield. All the way up to Bakersfield. Where is it at? There's San Bernardino. Where's Salton? And it went all the way up to Bakersfield. I think it went all the way from Mexico City to Iceland. So the bombs were here, right around here, and I was over here. They said it was a nuclear bomb. I think it was a huge nitrogen bomb. I smelled fuel. I had brain concussion, and I also had a broken nose, and I was not treated. I laid on the floor a while, got up and left the resort, and I have not been paid. There's Bakersfield right here, and the crack went away. They've been having flooding in tributaries, so the water is flowing from Mexico along this mountain ridge, right here, and along around there, and it came all the way down to Mexico. Then it goes all the way up here to Bakersfield, and then it goes, I gotta find it again, it goes all the way to Iceland. So what it did was, it went here, and it went all the way up towards here, all the way up. The crack goes that far. It goes up towards, it goes up to Iowa and Nebraska, and they have been having a lot of indications that the Mississippi River has also fallen into the crack. The fires are because 20 miles of 18 by 30 miles of magma has been exposed in the Salton Sea, and 18 to 30 miles of magma has been exposed in the Salton Sea over here in this area right here, and it kept the Los Angeles area cool. And what's happened is they're starting to heat up, and they're having more moisture sometimes. They're also currently drilling lithium. I was offered to buy real estate from Berkshire Hathaway the day of the bomb. I had a brain stroke. I also had a broken nose, and they did not pay me. You should never work in the federal government of the United States in finance or in military, because they don't pay you. I've had numerous brain strokes in my life, and I was actually born maimed, and it's been a hard time ever since those bombs went off on me. The government treats me like nothing. You should never work for them, in my opinion. But the crack went all the way, see here, crack went from the Salton Sea down here all the way up to Bakersfield, which is somewhere in this area here. I don't know why they didn't mark it. Anyway, Bakersfield in this area. Then it goes over into Wyoming. It cuts out across here. It goes out across Wyoming. The Wyoming geysers were detonating here, and it goes right on up. It cuts across here. There's a ridge, like it cut across here. The crack went up to Minnesota and Iowa, and the Mississippi River is currently going down into this, and lava has been showing up in Iceland, way up here in this area. There's Iceland. And so somehow Iceland is getting pressure from it's the crack runs along here, and it's like it's going under somewhere and around here in Minnesota and Iowa. It's good. Mississippi River's going down. Mississippi River's going down in there, Minnesota, Iowa, and Wyoming geysers were detonating because the water was going into that. I believe there's a dark or a deep fissure that runs from Salton Sea, and it goes all the way up there, and then it cuts across. It goes here, and then it cuts across this direction, and it also goes down into Mexico. The fires in Pacific Palisades should not have been done. It should not have even occurred. The fires of Pacific Palisades should not have occurred, but what's happened is they've changed the weather climate, because the Salton Sea is nothing but exposed magma. This whole area here is nothing but exposed magma. All that water is currently gone. They have it on a map, but it's not there. It's on Google Earth. That water is not there anymore. It's dried out, and all this is exposed magma. This used to be kept cool. It was like a cat with it. They blew that apart with that bomb that hit me, and I have not been paid. The federal government will not pay me workers' comp for this. I believe some other people were killed. I think it was a coup against the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, and I was injured, and I have not been paid. And they say this lithium here in the Salton Sea is worth $35 billion, but they were also getting diamonds and emeralds and gold and silver. The government does not care about any of us. This might not even be our government. I was told it was a terror strike. That was in October, Hector Mine Earthquake Day, October 1999. And I was told it was a terror strike when I entered the building at the La Quinta Resort Conference Center. Since then, La Quinta has been sold to Wyndham. It's no longer owned by La Quinta. And the employees, I've been told, they're not treated as well as La Quinta treated the employees. Like Wyndham does not treat their employees that well, what I've been told. So if you see fires over here in Los Angeles, this is what's going on. All that has been opened up. There's a crack. It runs all the way there, and it runs across here, and it runs up that other direction. It runs there, and it goes up that direction over there, and it also goes down here. So you got all this heat exposed, and I hate to see this happen in Pacific Palisades, but I was injected and tortured in 2024, and I was told there is no Salton Sea and there is no lithium. If I'm completely delirious, and why did they hire me at the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation to begin with? And why is it that Pacific Palisades is in flames? I was told there was no lithium, there was no Salton Sea, and I was being asked questions and tortured, and I believe a hit had been put on me to try to put me in jail or in an insane asylum. I did not swing. They have a method to put something in front of you that looks like an image of a person that's not. And they were attempting me to swing, saying I had pig eyes. They were torturing me, poking things in my eyes, and it also poked a hole in my wrist, and it's still there with a needle, and it's still a knot on my arm. And they will not pay me. They will not pay me for that. You see that knot right there? There's a knot on my hand right there. If I called them, I woke up and I started pushing the needle away, trying to push the needle away, and they jammed it back into my hand. I have not been paid. I was trying to get my eyes treated. I've been attacked in federal, state, and private health care since 2001, after I survived the federal banking robberies and the bombs of Salton Sea. The people of Pacific Palisades should ask Berkshire Hathaway who detonated the bombs of the Salton Sea, and that's who is really causing the havoc. They have destroyed the aquifer in that area, and I was told the aquifer was cracked by an agent. He didn't say how much was cracked. Bombs, it's like bombs are going off, but it sounds like this whole area was cracking, and they had dug holes down in there into the Salton Sea, I believe, and put in explosives, trying to detonate all the Salton Sea basin so they could convert it to lithium. You basically get seashells, and you can convert that into lithium for batteries. It's a metal. But you have to have a lot of heat to do it, and that's what they did. I have not been paid workers' comp for this. I have not been paid a tort. I am considering leaving the United States because I cannot get health care without being tortured. I was tortured in federal, state, and private. I'm done with it. I'm done with the United States healthcare system. They should not allow them to attack us when we get to healthcare. We do not abide by the Hippocratic Oath. We do not have human rights. They talk about freedom of speech. What good is freedom of speech if you have no human rights? In addition, look at all these people that died in Pacific Palisades. They didn't deserve that. Yeah, I know that most people in the United States don't really care about each other. From what I've seen, I've been tortured and maimed and defamed, and I have absolutely no record. But sometimes they'll treat you like that if they say you have a record. I was a federal bank examiner. I was hurt in a coup, and I survived. I believe all the others were killed, from what I could see, except for the one agent who was standing outside when I went outside, and he said the aquifer was cracked. I was there in La Quinta. This is Kurt Brown, St. Rambone Mobile Audit Club.